perfect entry into the zone. Well, I mean, they're getting closer and closer into the zone, but at least have taken a perfect exit from that fight, as they've got their flanks taken care of. Right now, running out in the open. I just hope they do not get sprayed upon. With that, the third airdrop, AWM. I've said this before, AWM on the map of Sanhok always feels like a troll gun for the teams. But hey, if you're comfortable with it, why not go for it?
Well, AWM lovers will always pick that big weapon, be it any map, but right now Stalwart Gaming, well, A+B+C Esports are having a height advantage onto the plus Stalwart Gaming. On the other side, we have 4MV also going up against the plus of Bad Intention, where Alpha has been knocked down. Now Stalwart Gaming out there in the open, better be careful because A+B+C, if they look in their direction, all the 4 players are running around in the open field, and that is not looking so very promising. Yes, AJ is providing the necessary cover fire from the backlines, keeping Valley in his crosshairs, but still, it's a very close call. And Nima with the grenade is looking for a knock right on the face of Valley, and Valley goes down. Easy confirmation will be made. A+B+C Esports better be careful because Nima with that UMP45 is looking for a second knock, and they do know where exactly the second player is.
Indeed, they definitely know where the second player is, and that, of course, is going to be providing that cover that is required. And with that, it is going to be, of course, Mafia Ninja putting a nail in the coffin as they jump into the zone, or rather try and jump into the zone, but along with that, take on those defeat points in their favor, as they've got 5 defeat points, make that 6, as, of course, right now, with a jumping gun action coming in from the side of No Fear, he brings down the team, and not only that, but brings down the annihilation of Mavitex from this game, as they get eliminated on the 12th rank with 0 eliminations in their favor. Skylights Gaming, what a game conversion right there from themselves. But again, there are still 10 more teams apart from them. AJ has been dropped down thanks to the Blues, but thankfully his teammate Mafia Ninja is going to be able to bring in that perfect revival right there. And there we go, camaraderie being showcased, as Skylights Gaming are going to be a 4-man strong army once again. High voltage Prabeen taken down thanks to the play zone as well. But right here at Painan, it is going to be 4MV against the players of Raw Officials. Interestingly enough, 4MV have been at Painan for a long, long time. Once again, in the previous game also, on Miramar, we saw what a slow poke play was being showcased from the side of 4MV. This time at all, they've done the exact same thing. They've kind of slowed down their pace of the game. They held themselves right here at Painan until another team came into the vicinity. And right now, it seems like it's going to be Raw Officials. But is there a fight brewing? Because it seems like 4MV have still not given away their position.
Certainly, for MV, they are not giving away their position, but Sitim Desert, he's at the mercy of the blue Elementrix, especially Frag is placed perfectly to decimate Desert in this situation. Only 2 first aids remaining. For how long can he survive? He has to move inside the circle. Slowly and slowly, at a snail pace, he's crawling his way inside the circle, but it is not enough as it is stage 4 circle. This blue is going to give a lot of damage. On the other side, Estra is also picking up the remaining players of Sitim Esports. Well, he did manage to land a good shot, but not enough to take down the player. Now, Elementrix still at the periphery of the circle. We have the plus of DRS. They have the numbers advantage. DRS always performed really good in the map of Sanhok, but Leo Hai Dami this time performing good as he takes on No Fear from the side of Skylights Gaming.
Well. Let's see how exactly is this going to fare out right now. Another 5 seconds. Stage 4 is going to be coming to an end as well. With Skylights Gaming right next to, of course, 2 individual teams. This is going to be a tricky conversion for them with a 3-man squad from their side. As we can see, from one side, it's going to be Raw Officials. From the other, we had 4MV that SG is trying to, of course, dominate against. Mafia Ninja as well as Nima right now getting pushed out upon from the players of Raw Officials, as from the front is going to be Yatauta. Alongside that, a perfect knock coming in right there. And not only a knock and annihilation, and of course a complete turnover where Raw Officials have gotten 6 defeat points and they are still not yet deterred. Claw was dropped down, but the revival will be provided right there. From Painan, Skylights Gaming get eliminated, but Raw Officials move on strong with all 4 players still survive. And 4MV, another team that has yet to make a marker in this lobby. The slowpoke play coming in from their side has not resulted in much just yet. And then comes in another team that's been playing, of course, towards a slowpoke performance. That's going to be DRS, Killer Whitey and Delta. Look at them. They're playing like a snail's pace. And with that, Entry Frag got so very close right there to Killer Whitey's nade. But just in the nick of time, he was able to, of course, change his position. He has absolutely no idea. Or wait, he does, it seems like. He has been able to spot. And this nade coming in from Delta could very well be the end of entry frag right there. Incus goes down from Delta's nade. Entry frag is still going to be able to survive right next to, of course, his vehicle. But for how long? Look at this nade being dropped down on the face of entry frag, but still not going to be able to do much. Elementrix, this is a tough situation that they're stuck in, and this nade has to do a little bit of damage. Entry frag does take a little bit of damage from this nade, and so does the vehicle, I'm sure, because the vehicle is still alive. The vehicle is still providing a lot of cover to entry frag. As his health goes down a little bit more, it seems like he's going to get into his vehicle, maybe patch himself, or maybe even run away. Not entirely sure what his plan is, but the smoke has been deployed. That seems to be providing him with the opportunity, but never mind that. Not entirely sure what he wanted to do, because it not really pop a first aid, not really move from that location. He was just hoping to see if at all DRS overpeaks that area. Did not. Ended up resulting in, of course, them getting eliminated, and DRS with an easy 3 picks right there move into this game, move into this fight, and open up the points for themselves.
On the other side, the last man of high voltage has also been picked off, and high voltage also bits bye with 0 elimination points at 8th spot. And raw officials, not just raw officials, the majority of the players in the lobby are having shotgun in their hands, especially DBS. Even the players of 4MV are playing with the DBS meta. Well, I have to say the shotgun meta better be nerfed. Right now, the plus of T2K rigged so very close to the opponent, and Desert out there in the open made a very big mistake, and East with that UMP45 capitalized and instantly brought demise to him. Now Sitim Esports rescue mission is going on, but still better be careful, because they are up against one of the strongest team in the lobby, that is 4MV. With the numbers advantage in the favor of 4MV, Sitim are not looking so very strong.
Let's see, with 7 teams and 20 players remaining in this lobby, Raw Officials, the team that seems to be leading the charge. 4MV have finally opened up their play with 3 defeat points, but they have been spotted. DRS Rules has been spotted, and he will not be allowed to take cover right there. And along with that, Refuse takes on 1 defeat point for himself and along with his team as well. 4MV, again, this team, there is nothing that can stop them. It seems like DRS are going to be jumping in with a 3-man squad right here against the players of 4MV, with the DBS is going to be doing quite a lot of damage. And look at that positioning from Refuse right there. Oh, what a jerry can placement. That could have been the annihilation of DRS's players. But for now, they seem to have made an entry onto this compound. Again, in the vicinity is going to be 4MV. So what exactly are DRS wanting to take care of, I wonder? Because for now, they've lost out on rules, but the other 3 players have all gotten 1 elimination point for themselves. They are at the edge of the zone. They know this compound is taken over. Refuse is going to be in that compound, but he's on the ground floor. The nade comes on top on the first floor. East from the other side from 4MV takes on shots against Sitim, as Sitim does seem to be getting eliminated right here with 1 final player remaining. He also is going to be burnt down. With that, it is going to be 4 teams remaining right now with 14 teams, as we've got Seal Esports also getting eliminated on the 5th spot with 6 eliminations. Oof, this is a chaotic. Sanhok most certainly moves all the way down to 4MV's spine on. But right now, it is the DBS meta that is definitely moving in with the rock-solid performance. On the other side of this stream is going to be Raw Officials. And on the backlines is going to be DRS. DRS with a 3-man strong army. Leo Esports, I wonder where they're at. They can bring in quite a lot of annihilating play in this fight as well. But for now, it seems like 4MV against Raw Officials are going to be the ones. Or maybe Leo Esports are also tagging along. As we can see in the kill feed, it's going to be Raw Officials against the Leo Esports, as Zordi takes on those shots against Leo Esports. And that in turn has resulted in, of course, the players of, well, DRS on the other side of 4MV getting eliminated. But right here, when it comes to Raw Officials, they have been able to obliterate the possibility of Leo Esports getting into a decent game for themselves. But boy, oh boy, in all, Raw Officials and 4MV go head-on-head against each other. Right now, the nades being brought on from the side of Raw, from the side of 4MV, are resulting in players going down from Raw. 2 players remain, both on a split end on this compound. Apex, along with his UMP in his hand, is trying to poke out where exactly is this player. It seems like his teammates are going to be able to do it all. And now it's Zordi, the final player, who's going to be put down. And that maybe not with a perfect controlled play right here. He's going to be able to take on shots and bring down 2 players and 2 points to his team. Of course, 4MV has the numbers advantage. That in turn will give them the chicken dinner. But an incredible play right there from Zordi from Raw Officials, because this is the kind of game that was needed from them, as I was calling it in the previous game's post segment as well. Raw Officials is one of those teams that if they keep on playing their cards right like this, they're going to be in the top 16, maybe even in the top 12 to be a part of the bonus game.
Well, certainly the DPS supremacy coming in from the side of Raw officials was they annihilated the players of Venom DE and later on moved ahead, tried to take down the players of 4MV, but it was 4MV, the domination that came from their side, 13 elimination, total of 23 points, and sitting on the top in the overall ranking. 4MV, they were the unstoppable force in this one. Hello and welcome back. You guys are watching PMPL South Asia 2023 Spring Season, week number 2 and day number 5. And we are done with the 4 games of today. I'm in the Sanhok 4MV. Again, Blotter gets a winner chicken dinner. Is there any chance that any team can topple over 4MV in the overall ranking?
I honestly don't think that is possible right now. I honestly don't think that's possible anymore. What, this is the 8th or 9th chicken dinner coming in favor of 4MV in total? It's just bonkers the amount of play and the amount of control that team works with. But again, the zone helped them out as well. You know, you cannot deny that basically. But apart from that, talking about the MVP, we do have Raw officials as Zordi with 6 eliminations alongside 1092 damage and only 47 healing done. So an incredible play coming in from Zordi right there. And of course, we saw in the final moments of the game itself, he brought down not 1 but 2 players from the team of 4MV. So of course, that conversion was so very important and critical right there from him. And that of course helped out him as well as his teammate as he got the MVP. And his team, I'm sure, are going to be walking away with quite a chunk of points from this game.
Certainly, but in the top players, we have Raw officials, Zordi, Yeta Uta with 5 elimination, East from the side of 4MV, 4 elimination, Haidami from the side of Leo Esports with 2 elimination but high damage number. Then we have Apex from 4MV with 3 elimination of his own. This time Raw officials also, they had a very dominating performance just by the DBS, just by the shotguns. They started by eliminating the players of Venom DE, then they took so many other fights. But in the match summary, it is all about Seal, 4MV and Raw officials.
Indeed, as we talk about the match summary, of course, you perfectly mentioned, we've got Seal, 4MV and Raw officials leading the charge right here with, of course, the play that were made in terms of damage, in terms of assist, in terms of course, annihilation of the opponents themselves. But moving away from there, we've got the match ranking where this time around, look at that. 4 Miracle Wives did get a chicken dinner with 13 eliminations, but Raw officials with that incredible play, end up getting 13 eliminations of their own, 19 points, and then 10 points shy is going to be the team sitting on the 3rd. So incredible conversion of points from the side of Raw officials this time around.
Certainly, they're trying with tooth and nail to qualify for the bonus match and to rank themselves up in the overall ranking. But Venom DE, Again, a bad game came from the side Maptex Esports after a big victory in Miramar, this time with 0 points in their favor. High voltage today is not working for them with only a single point in their favor, sitting at the 14th spot. Bad intention, only a single point. Elementrix also a single point. T2K as well, but T2K. Talking about this team is also not performing as per our expectations on the very last day in the overall ranking. Well, no one can touch 4MV. They're sitting with 194 points.
Absolutely, 194 points, 4 chicken dinners in week 2 itself right here coming in for 4MV. As we move on from them, we've got Stalwart Esports with a single chicken dinner, 174 points. So 20 points shy still is going to be STE, and then comes in T2K. But moving away from there towards the second page where we do have NV Esports on the 11th position with 94 points. Then 4 points shy is going to be Raw Officials on the 12th. And of course, the day continues on as we've got another game to look ahead towards, where indeed we shall find out who are the top 12 teams. Because right now on Raw Officials is 90 on 12th. 13th is Maptex Esports with 87 points. So there is going to be a possibility for them to be able to, get themselves pushed down if another team ranks up to the possibility of getting a perfect game for themselves. And that would mean they're going to be participating in that bonus map as well, which will be played on Vikendi. So that is what, of course, this final game is all going to be played out for. But yes, one final game between these 16 teams before we can talk about Vikendi.
Certainly, one more game for the teams, and the last game, the teams who are trying to qualify for the bonus match. This is the last game for them. And looking at the schedule, well, we started with Miramar where DE performed. Now we are down to the fifth match, Erangel, where Group A will be sitting out. And with that, Blotter, it's time for the prediction.
Absolutely, that is true. It is time for prediction, where Group A is not going to be participating. So that means for Medical Vibes, the opportunity for them to get a 3 chicken dinner is lost to the cause, of course. But apart from that, of course, we do have all the other groups that will be playing on this Erangel game, the final game. And for that, I would love to be able to see once again what I8 going to be able to do. Will they get a chicken dinner once again right here on the Erangel game? Let's find out.
I8 definitely a very good pick, but I want to go with Stalwart Esports because Stalwart, they have been trying and dominating in so many games, but they are still not able to get the winner chicken dinner of today. So Stalwart Esports again.
Absolutely, and that might just work out for us, but again, time will tell if at all that'll be the case or not, because after all, we can only speculate based on what the stats are dictating to us. In the end, it's all focused on what the entire zone is going to be, what the flight path is going to be dictating to us, and eventually what the games are going to be thinking about. But of course, in all of this, one more team to bring up is going to be, well, I8C. Again, now I8C we've spoken about quite a lot. Can they have a good game today? Can they have a decent final game right here? Of course, they are going to be part of the top 12 teams to play the Vikendi map. But I would love for them to get a chicken dinner as well. But nevertheless, our predictions are done. Now it all boils down to what the PUBG gods are going to be throwing to these teams. And, well, what are we to anticipate from this game? Let's find out, as the flight path is going to be on our screens as we start all the way from northern side, from Stalwart region. And, of course, going over the Georgia Pole, slowly closing in towards Milta Power. This is going to be pretty good. Oh, my apologies, I went the other way around. I saw Georgia Pole and Zarki is what I meant to say. So starting from Zarki and Georgia, going all the way down towards Milta. It is going to be providing an early opportunity for I8C to jump on down towards South Georgia. Same could be said for the players of Seal Esports as they go towards north of Georgia. Along them is also a team like, well, Venom DE, they're not playing, but they love to go towards North Georgia as well. Never mind them, because right now, the flight path is looking very, very good. But for a team like STE, who go towards Novorapnoi, they're going to have to wait. They're going to have to be the last ones, pretty much, that will jump out of the flight path, which would mean that the other teams who've already jumped on towards Georgia Pole region are going to be jumping into the fights, creating some opportunities, getting some information. While all that goes on, STE is still stuck in their seats with the season fast spell still going on as they are yet to leave the plane. And there we go, finally. They're out, of course. For now, we've got no other team that they need to worry about towards the military-based region, as Novorapnoi is going to be theirs, and no other team, as of now, seem to be wanting to go down there. And with that, we've got the zone that is going to be dictating itself mostly towards the eastern side, and Mansion being in the center.
Well, definitely. Again, this time, this is the second time that we are seeing a Eastern Circle. Last Erangel, it was also an Eastern Circle. And you were talking about IHC. IHC did showcase good performance in the map of Miramar. That was match number 3, where they came second, where they came third. But right now, again, we have a drop location collision happening between the plus of Skylar's Gaming and Sitim Esports in the city of Yasnia. And Sitim better be careful because Skylar's Gaming is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And the way they have the entire control of these 3 apartment buildings, well, that also means that do have good resources in their hands. They do have best weaponry in their hands as compared to the plus of Sitim Esports. But QB is way too far away from his teammates. He can bring that off angle onto the plus of Skylar's Gaming that can bring an opening, but somewhere else is the first blood being drawn by Frag of Elementrix, and as he takes down one player from the side of Raw officials.
Well, let's find out. We've got the first blood already drawn. Raw officials take a knock and in fact get that player eliminated as well from the lobby. Though as we continue on with this, we've got SG on our screen, Scarlet's Gaming, who are going to be in Yasnaya this time around in close proximity to the drop location of Sitim Esports, as every single time we've seen Yasnaya Poliana taken in control by Sitim itself. Though, for now, they are both going to be in a bit of a stalemate situation. 40 seconds to go before stage 1 comes to an end. But indeed, for Scarlet's Gaming, it is going to be an important fight if they're able to get this one in the bag against Sitim. But from the way that they're moving, it seems like they want to be able to get away from Yasnaya altogether itself. They want to be able to leave this entire area to Sitim Esports, as right in front was Mafia Ninja. He's been able to get that vehicle, and now it seems like Scarlet's Gaming are probably going to be deciding to move away from this area, as they've got at least one vehicle in control of themselves. And there we have it, all 4 players going for that Uber. But alongside that, it is going to be Mad Cats from side of TRZ, who's been sprayed on upon IHC's Godless and Demo in their vehicle, wanting to steal that elimination point. Or maybe they were the ones who actually knocked him. I did not see that happen, but it seems like they are going to be the ones who will be getting that defeat point. And there we have it. First defeat point going in favor of IHC as well. But sadly for TRZ, the second team to lose out on one player. Alongside that, of course, IHC Esports is Godless and Demo are going to be getting into their own individual vehicles and then making a rotation. A decent start to this Erangel game for these 16 teams.
Well, not a decent start for everyone, because TRZ and Raw officials, they have lost one of their player at a very early stage of the game. TRZ, they dropped somewhere towards the western side, towards the coastline. IHC, they were in the Georgopol city. They saw one of the player of TRZ instantly capitalize and took him down. Raw officials and Elementrix, they are somewhere towards the southern side of Pochinki, towards the farm area, towards the western side of farm area. That is where in a very early fight, I believe even the resources and the weaponry is not best with the players at this point. But talking about a team that is looking comfortable and could capitalize in terms of the finishes in this circle can be the plus of Stalwart Esports, because hey, look, the very first circle is covering a little bit area of the Nova Ripnoi, so they can go for the late rotation. They can hold on to the bridge area for a very long time. At the same time, Maptex Esports, they are in the city of Lipovka. This can be their good game, because from the northern front, there is only one team that is going to make rotation. That is going to be Skylar's Gaming. So even Maptex are also looking promising in this one.
Indeed, they most certainly are. Though again, it is all going to be boiling down to how exactly does the final zones and the final fight fare out for the players of Maptex. For now, again, as we look at ASL, a team that has not had a good week 2. No questions asked for Abrupt Slayers. Week 2 has been very dormant. And that, of course, begs to differ the performance that they showcased in week 1. As to where has it gone? What exactly changed? Well, those questions are going to be answered from their coaches as well as themselves, I'm sure, tomorrow. Because tomorrow will be an off for them as well as the stream. But today, this final game, what all are they going to be able to dictate in the fights that are going to be presented to them? Is ASL getting any closer to the top 12? Well, it's highly unlikely. In one game, they need upwards of 30 points or something like that, I believe. So that's possible, but next to impossible based on their performance from week 2. But hey, again, you cannot leave out on opportunities like that, and possibilities of those sorts do take place on the battleground. But right now, as we move away from there towards the region of farm, we've got Illuminate True. Slowly but surely, making a rotation from themselves, from the farm region. Again, this farm region, this area, it is so tricky to make a rotation from. If at all there are teams around in the vicinity or the compounds adjacent to farm, you are going to be sprayed down upon, and it is so difficult to find a cover. I mean, you've got Bale, pretty much that's all you get in there, but apart from that, it says ASL once again going to be in the crosshairs of Leo Esports this time around. It was B. Shaw in the driving seat from ASL, sadly. He was not gotten a knock. I mean, sadly for Leo Esports, my apologies. But overall, of course, Leo Esports did try, were able to bring down a little bit of health. But at the same time, ASL was able to make a recovery, were able to get away from that position, did not lose out on a single player. That is a plus point for them. But yeah, these late rotations that we're looking at, I mean, two-man split coming in from Leo Esports, where two players have already found a compound, whereas Liquid right here is still yet to make an entry into the zone, almost about 700 meters away.
Well, Leo Esports, they dropped, Gatka has always been their usual drop location. They drop in a split position, go for the smaller compound loot, and then they regroup, this time going for a late rotation because Abrupt Slayers, they are placed in the Pubg. Then we have few teams in the city of Rosok. That was a good read that was coming from the side of Leo Esports on the opponents, going for the late rotation. Good thing. Let's hope it works in their favor. On the other side, we have the players of DRS as well, because DRS towards the southern side, and that is exactly where the players of Maplex are also there. I8 is also going for the rotations. So many rotations coming from the southern and western front. So that means Skylar's Gaming in the situation Blotter can capitalize, because look at them. The only player in close proximity to Nima is on top, sir. Otherwise, Skylar's Gaming, they have the entire control of the northeastern front. Stalwart Esports, this time going for a late rotation. I believe it is going to work for them because they are going to find a clear pathway inside the circle, because I8, well, they will start clearing the floor, and Stalwart Esports can dominate from the southern side.
They most certainly can. With that, the first airdrop of the game being dropped on right here at farm region with the Groza, along with, of course, the level 3 kit as usual. Alongside that, look at what synergy being showcased right here from these two teams, ASL as well as Raw Officials, as they make a rotation right next to each other. And it is going to be an open season for NB Esports right now, where Fistboy has all the idea of converting that into a point, but sadly was not able to bring the spray to himself, to a point for himself. That's okay though. NB Esports, nothing to worry about for now, because they've got a compound, at least, along with a two-man split and an information against an opponent team that is so far away. But look at that kill feed. IHC's Demo takes on shots against High Voltage's Prabeen, and they are out in the open in the blues, 1400 meters away, both of these teams, IHC as well as High Voltage. Not entirely sure why did they decide to take on this extended fight, because now it is a do-and-die situation for High Voltage as well as IHC. This is stage number 2, of course, so not a lot of damage that is going to be brought on from the zone, from the blues. But still, it is not an easy one to take on as well, because IHC, again, this team, the over-aggressive streak that they try and deliver, that becomes the reason for their demise. And this time as well, what did they get out of this, is what I ask to the coach as well as to the team. What did they get out of this? What was the reason to stick around over there, take shots, bring in a little bit more damage graph in your favor, and that's about it, and then run away? I mean, might as well just focus towards getting into the zone and then converting that into a, perhaps into a better, getting information and converting that into a fighting chance for a chicken dinner. Whereas now they're going to be walking in blind. Nevertheless, that is what has happened and taken place. But again, IHC are not the only ones who are in that sort of a play, because High Voltage themselves are out in the blues. They've not yet started to make a rotation. Elementrix as well are going to be out in the blues as well. So is the team of Seal Esports. So quite a lot of these teams are out in the blues, making some late rotations. But talking about the center zones itself, we've got Mabitex along with Raw Officials, and right next to them we also saw ASL.
Certainly, Abrupt Slayers, they like dropping in towards the city of Pubg, but right now we have the players of Maptex Esports and raw officials like you pointed out, and Abrupt Slayers also in the close proximity. The Molotovs are already being lobbed, but the players of raw officials, they are still surviving. This is a very crucial game from the players of raw officials because they are sitting on their 12th spot and they need to qualify for the bonus match. And if they get an elimination, things will look a bit dicey for the players of raw. On the other side, the players of Leo Esports are also being picked off by the players of DEADEYES guys right now. Valley wasted so many resources in that situation, but finally he gets a knock onto Yeta Uta and his teammate. 2 knocks coming in onto the players of raw officials. This is the opening which Maptex Esports were waiting for, and Valley finally eliminates the 3rd player as well, and raw officials have been eliminated from the lobby with that. Abrupt Slayers, they are also falling down through the hands of Maptex. Leo with that M416 perfect spray coming in takes from 1 player from the side of Abrupt Slayers. The smokes have been deployed, but that is not enough to stop the aggression that is coming from the side of Maptex, and Leo with that vehicle is already closing in the distance. This is not looking good at all for the players of Abrupt Slayers.
Indeed, for ASL, things just keep on going from bad to worse right here in this final game of the day before we jump into the bonus game. ASL are being brought down in terms of their numbers. Of course, thankfully, they do have their teammates around to give a revival, but Maptex are on top of them. They know exactly where ASL's players are at. And of course, the smoke being dissipated means that there is an opening for Leo 3-3 to be able to, of course, get some perfectly thrown nade parade against the players of ASL. But before Leo can do that, it seems like his teammates need a bit of cover as well. Or hold on, I'm saying it wrong. It's actually Maptex who have taken on shots against the players of IHC. So it's IHC who actually lost out on one of the players. That's going to be Alex. And that's all thanks to Leo Esports' approach right here. But Slipknot all by his own, all by his alone home. This is not looking good. But what a perfect nade coming in from Slipknot right there. As Yol goes down, a perfect knock as well has been traded across. As Leo's height army in that flank angle is the final player remaining. But for the players of IHC, they did lose out on one of the players. Of course, revival is going to be there for Zeol from demo. So IHC are going to be left with a 3-man squad from that fight. But at the same point of time, they did end up getting the compound. So decent conversion from them. But at a massive loss of losing out on 1 player. Alongside all of this, as we push on ahead into this game towards stage number 4. Maptex in the compound, looking very, very comfortable. As far as the zone itself is concerned, Maptex are looking and absolutely unstoppable in terms of converting this game into a really good chicken dinner high fragging game. But we'll have to see what the exact play will be from their side. Looking on, talking about DEADEYES guys, true love, sir. Well, he knows that Leo Esports' Haitami is over there. And look at that flank from his teammate is going to be helping him out. As final player Leo Esports' Haitami is going to be dropped down as well. Smoke has been deployed from him, but not going to be able to do much. Not going to be able to provide a lot of cover over there because he's getting sprayed on upon from on top Scarel. And that in turn might be the demise of Leo Esports' final player. On the other side of the game altogether itself, we've got STE taking on shots as well against the players. Oh, well. STE are have troubles of their own because they also took shots against DRS, but DRS retaliated, which in turn has brought down STE down to a 2-man army. And 1 player has been knocked icy, but he's been giving revival right now.
But the grenade that Top is trying to lob in the direction of Killer YTT can be so very deadly. The first one, he's going to miss the perfect projectile. He's trying for the second one, but he doesn't know exactly where Killer YTT is. With that, he's going to close in the distance. With that M416, he's trying to look for a knock, and 1v3 situation for Killer YTT brewing up as Top's taking the damage of the blue, trying to find the last player of DRS. Can he find? And it looks like he has found him, and without leaving his own cover, Killer YTT takes on the Z over there in the situation, but IC is going to chime in with its S12K and eliminate the entirety of DRS Gaming. With that, Stalwart Esports, they have managed to get 3 defeat points in their favor. But at the same time, Blotter Raw official, they have been eliminated from the lobby. That is going to open things up for the plus of Maptex Esports, because Maptex, they were only 3 points deficit from the 12th spot. At the same time, TRZ and High Voltage, they were 6 and 7 points deficit. So this game is so very crucial for Maptex, TRZ and High Voltage. Whoever gets the maximum points, they will qualify for the bonus match. So that could be the reason Maptex, TRZ and High Voltage, they are playing this very game so very cautiously.
It definitely does make sense, and they need to be, of course, dominating in terms of if they want to be able to, of course, like you perfectly mentioned, have a good Bulls game as well. But right now, with 13 teams remaining, High Voltage in a lot of trouble of their own, as they were being shot on upon, as well as we've got Seal Esports against the players of Sidon and DEADEYES guys against the players of NB. But High Voltage, they lose out on 2 players right now. NB Esports' final player, Fistboy, and look at that, High Voltage, they got out in the open, they thought they'll be able to cover this angle, but that's not the case, as Fistboy, along with, of course, third parties coming in against him, is going to be able to help him out, but not for long, as his health goes down to a sliver of HP, and that jump and shot coming in from Jiggle, of course, will be the annihilation of NB Esports, as they have been eliminated. 12 teams remaining. We've got 41 players in total. DEADEYES guys now in close proximity to the positioning of Maptex, and look at that, Maptex has one player, has already gone to the flank. He's right below DEADEYES Slayer, sir. And that nade being thrown to the face of Baron, gonna drop him down, but same is the case for Slayer, sir, as well, as his health goes down to almost 40%. DEADEYES guys, where is the teammate for Slayer, sir? He needs help right now. And they are in the far back corner. They're slowly jumping into the opportunity, and look at that. Leo from Maptex brings himself down, gets saved from Maptex, has been almost brought down to a sliver of HP and will be annihilated. Slayers' dominating play right there has resulted in keeping the compound to themselves and also eliminating the competition Maptex. We're left with 11 teams right now, but all of this commotion has resulted in momentum going in DEADEYES guys' favor, because they are the ones sitting with all 4 players standing and 5 eliminations confirmed.
Maptex also out of the equation. They needed 3 points, so that means they are also not in top 12 yet. That means TRZ and High Voltage, things are open for them, but they need minimum 7 or 8 points. But right now, I8 and IHC going up against each other, and Godless is creating some trouble for Sky. Multiple barrage of grenades, and Sky has been brought down to 10 HP, but now Sky is still surviving. But we have Elementrix also in the close proximity, and the way IHC, they are spread out, things are not looking good for them, because there is a chance of a third party happening. I can see a team on the periphery of the circle as well. Could be the plus of TRZ, but right now IHC, they have to regroup. But Zoil is still looking for some opening. Now they are trying to pick the plus of Abrupt Slayer, but somewhere else DE Slayer sir is picking the plus of Seal, but Becca is going to retaliate and take down Slayer over there. But Precious sir also finds one more knock, so the plus of even Seal Esports are not looking good, as they have been reduced to 2 men.
For now, though, as we've got Seal Esports and a lot of barrage of nades against them, DEADEYES guys slowly but surely keeping the momentum in their favor for sure. Seal Esports trying to get those revivals and have actually been able to convert that into 1 revival. There's 1 more player remaining who will hopefully be getting a revival, but all those nades coming in from DEADEYES, it's just not helping them out. They need to push in. They need to make an opportunity created for themselves, and there we go. One top Sir's nade does reach its target as Rogue goes down, and this could be where a perfect trade could be created, and not only a trade but annihilation, because after all it is Precious who goes down from the side of Seal Esports, from the side of DEADEYES guys, as Seal Esports is soulless with a perfect nade domination, has been able to of course annihilate the competition, and in doing so DEADEYES guys, they should have pushed when they had the chance, and right now not having done so has obliterated their opportunity, because Seal Esports, now they've got the upper hand. Now they can push on ahead. But in all of that, look at the third-party team. It is going to be Skylights Gaming. And Skylights Gaming are looking forward to just getting 1 knock for themselves. And then I'm sure they're going to be rushing in to obliterate both of those teams that are right in front of them. And as this goes on, Cinema Esports has been able to take on shots against the players of TRZ, as well as TRZ are brought down 2-0-1 man army.
Well, certainly, and Seal Esports, they are unstoppable with Vector in hand, but that's not going to be enough, as Becca has been taken down. Now Soulless is looking for an opening onto the plus over there, but on top Source bleeding, the confirmation has been made. Let's see if Seal Esports can bring down the numbers of DEADEYES, as one of the players still, Soulless knows exactly where he is, and with that, the last player will also be eliminated. That was on top Source, and DEADEYES, they bid bye-bye at 9th spot with good elimination points in their favor. But this is the moment where Skylights Gaming is going to jump and take down Soulless over there. Seal was not prepared for this fight, this outnumbered fight. and Rock all by himself down to 50 HP or 60 HP or something is not going to stand for a very long time as Skylight's Gaming. All the four players are rushing towards him. The smokes are there, the molotovs are there, all the possible throwables have been deployed, and Scene Esports, well, they have been eliminated at the 8th spot with 4 elimination. But somewhere else on the map, we have I8 and IHC also going up against each other as 2 players of I8 have been brought down. At the same time, IHC, well, they are also down to 2 men. The numbers are not in their favor. At the same time, the circle is also not in their favor as they're trying to challenge the players of I8. But Nova, it's perfect spray of UMP comes in, takes down Godless over there. But Zoil, direct rush in, over-aggressive stance is not going to fare off so well for him as IHC has been eliminated at 7th spot with 4 elimination of their own. And I8, well, they are still standing strong with 4 defeat points.
Absolutely, with 4 defeat points confirmed for Eliminate True and getting that revival on their teammate as well. With 4 players surviving, total 16 remaining, and with that, a perfect push coming in from the side of TRZ could have resulted in a perfect annihilation right there, as of course we had Sidham waiting behind that bale, and that in turn has of course been retaliated based on the nade coming in from Mamba, which of course puts this entire fight in his favor. But he's the only player surviving. First things first, he needs to get a revival to his teammate. It seems highly unlikely because that entire area has been taken over by Sidham and he's all by his lonesome. The nades did as much damage as they could, but in the end Mamba is going to lose out on his teammate as of course his teammate goes down. He pushes back away from the zone itself. But right now, with the cover of the vehicles, how much damage is he looking forward to do in this game? Of course, we saw Illuminate True hear all of the commotion from TRZ Mamba. So they know that right behind them, they've got a team. They've got a player they need to be worried about. And along with that, look at that. TRZ Mamba from all the way far away has been able to obliterate the chance of course, his opponent walking away from that fight as Sidham get eliminated. We're left with 5 teams remaining. 4-man army coming in from Elementrix. Same is the case from Stalwart Gaming. STE though, they're just left with the 1-man squad. That's going to be Icy right here. As he takes shots, oh well, he's got information against Mamba. He just needs a perfect spot-on shot on the head. And that in turn could maybe give him a little bit more of defeat points. As of now, he's only got 1. His team sitting on 3 defeat points. But his position seems to have been compromised. And along with that, it is also the players of Elementrix who are out in the open, who seem to be, of course, getting sprayed on upon from the players of Stalwart Gaming. SG, the compound that they have has given them a lot of advantages. Mafia Ninja is up on top of that roof, giving away the odd tree, giving away, of course, the information to his teammates. Nima from one side and Nima's teammate on the other.
Certainly, now we have 4 teams, 12 players remaining. The numbers are definitely in the favor of Elementrix this time as they have 3 men standing. On the other side, I8 Crew and Skylight's have all the 4 players in the lobby, but Stalwart Esports with only 1 player. What can he do in this situation? I8, they are in such a position that 1 grenade or a molotov in that direction could result in the demise of multiple players. But Sky has been taken down by AJ with an M416 spray. And now I8, they have to go for the rescue mission. Stalwart Gaming is trying to deplete the resources of the players of I8 over there. Because I8, they can also be a very strong contender for that winner chicken title. But look at the way Stalwart Gaming is controlling the entire circle. 2 players are already inside the circle. One of the players is on the periphery of the circle. Remaining 2 players are somewhere on the northern edge of the circle. Stalwart Gaming has the entire control in this final circle. And AJ with that vehicle is spotted on IC. He knows exactly where IC is. And with that, Stalwart Esports thinks on, okay, maybe he doesn't know. How did he not spot IC over there?
IC's luck for sure, I guess. That's the only thing that could be said. Well, again, though, full on shots with the tapping coming in the name of course, Mini 14 from No Fear, bringing down the players of I8 as Illuminate True's players go down. They're only left with just a 1-man squad, or is that the case? Novax goes down along with his teammate Viper, but are they going to be able to get a revival? That seems highly unlikely because Sky is so far away. And hold on, he seems to have been spotted as well. And he goes down as No Fear, in just a matter of seconds, has been able to obliterate the entirety of Illuminate Crew and now pushes on along with his Mini 14 to take on those tap shots against Elementrix as well. But Stalwart Gaming, with the 2-man split that they've got, this team is annihilating the competition 1 by 1. There is absolutely no way Elementrix can do much over here. But hold on, look at this. I say from SDE, he still has a lot to say in this game. Scarlet Gaming's Nima will take down Enkis from Elementrix. So that means the opening that Scarlet Gaming were waiting for has been created, but the X Factor, IC, is still remaining.
And IC is going to take down No Fear. Instant confirmation is also coming in. And Nima with that vehicle run overtakes on Orangey from the side of Elementrix. And Elementrix has been eliminated with a high fragging game. Now it's a 1v3 situation where the players of Scarlet Gaming are having the numbers advantage. Mafia Ninja knows exactly where IC is. And IC not having enough cover. Slight glimpse. Mafia Ninja gets off IC, trying to take him down. 1v3 situation, IC right in the center, takes hefty damage from the side of Mafia Ninja, but Nima will bring his death, and with that, Scarlet Gaming get a winner-winner chicken dinner for themselves, and Stalwart Esports, again they came on the second position, but a fantastic gameplay coming from the side of Scarlet Gaming.
That is so very true, of course, right here. But as we've got the final game done, now after that short little break, we're going to find out what exactly is going to happen with the overall rankings and where the top 12 teams are. But for now, of course, Scarlet Gaming find the 5th spot with 21 total points from this game.
Welcome back everyone, you guys are watching PMPL South Asia 2023 spring season, and with that 5 matches of last day of week number 2 are over. Now top 12 teams will get a chance to play the match of Vikendi Blotter. What do you think? Which team has raw officials do you think has made it in top 12? Because they were taken out pretty early, and the amount of numbers, the points which the players of TRZ and High Voltage needed, well, they didn't get it, I think.
Yes, that's what's troubling me as well, to be very honest, because it does not seem like it is going to happen, but we'll find out soon enough. That is the best part. We are going to find out soon enough. Before we jump into the map of Vikendi, though, talking about just what took place right now in this game, where do we talk about the MVP? Because there were so many teams who were actually part of some really good fights, right? I mean, Scarlet Gaming, they definitely made their presence felt. At the same point in time, I mean, we had so many other teams who were moving along with the momentum working in their favor as well. But of course, there can only be one MVP. And talking about the most valuable player, let's find out. Let's jump on to that screen. And that is going to be none other than No Fear from Scarlet Gaming with 4 eliminations, 1,114 damage done. A chaotic conversion right here from No Fear.
Certainly, and No Fear from the side of Scarlet Gaming has showcased so many individual gameplays. Look at the amount of damage number. Yes, the eliminations have not been converted, only 4 eliminations, but the damage number is way too high. 1,114 damage, 1 assist, 3 knocks, 125 healings done. Even in the map of Miramar, I remember in week number 1, it was No Fear who used to provide the necessary cover fire from the backlines, which resulted in good gameplays from the side of Scarlet Gaming, even few good chicken dinners as well.
True, that is so very true, and that is something that, of course, is going to come back to bite him, to come back to haunt him, perhaps, is another way to say. But let's move on and talk about the top players right here, where we've got Scarlet's Gaming, No Fear and Nima being on top of the list right here. As we move ahead, we've got the Elementrix's Incus for along with IHC's Demo and IC from STE. But in all of this, you can clearly see Nima was the man who got the highest amount of eliminations. That is going to be 5. But at the same point of time, you look at the damage that was, of course, caused by No Fear is the reason why he is going to be up on top, as 40% is going to be damaged, and then comes in the elimination and the survival time. But again, it is definitely a kudos effort and a valiant play coming in from all of these teams and their players.
Certainly, valiant effort, especially from the last player, IC of Stalwart Esports. The way he was putting up fight with the players of Scarlet's Gaming, even though he was outnumbered. But in the match summary, it is all about Scarlet's Gaming. Nima having the highest elimination, No Fear with highest damage, AJ with highest assist, and Soulless with highest healing done from the side of Seal Esports with 392 healings done. Overall, it was entirely Scarlet's Gaming match. The way they played, yes, they had the circle benefit, position benefit. The way the circle was this time, it was favoring the players of Scarlet's Gaming entirely. But in the match ranking, Scarlet's on top with 21 points of their own.
Absolutely, following along with them is going to be Elementrix Esports with 7 elimination points, along with 5 placement points, placing them on the second with 12 points in total. Then comes in STE with 4 elimination points of their own. In total, 10 is what they get. So again, first page is looking very immaculate in terms of the conversion from them. But move on to the second page. Ooh la la, not so bad at all. After all, we've got TRZ jumping in with 5 points of their own, ASL with 3. Same is the case with High Voltage, Mavitex Esports and NB Esports, along with DRS walk away with 2. Sadly though, this time around, Raw Officials and Leo Esports were the unlucky bunch who were they were not able to get any point for themselves. So of course that is going to be a tough luck situation for them. At the same point of time, we need to find out what the final 12 teams are going to be. Of course, we've seen what the overall ranking was, we've seen how many points they were able to get, but I'm sure there are going to be real good mathematicians who are going to be in the chat who must have already figured out what teams are not going to be part of it. With that, overall ranking on our screens, we've got the first 10 teams right here. Starting from the bottom, we've got Seal Esports, DEADEYES Guys, Leo Esports, DRS Gaming, Skylights Gaming, IHC Esports, Illuminate True, T2K, as well as Stalwart and 4MV. All looking pristine, all looking perfect, because week number 2 has come to an end, and they are the ones who will be moving in to the final bonus game. But on page 2, who do we have? Oh, well, 1 point shy is what Mavitex lost this entire fray. Same is the case for TRZ as well, because it is Raw Officials with that lovely play will find themselves in the top 12. Incredible conversion right here from Raw Officials. They started on 16th position with 71 points, but now have moved on to the 12th position. Kudos play from them, and I just hope that they're able to get a decent placement in the Vikendi map as well, so that in the league standing, they can boost their morale a little bit more. Well, with that, let's move on and talk about the schedule right now. Talking about the schedule, we're done with 5 games, fun final game remaining. One final game that will be played on the map of Vikendi, where, of course, top 12 teams are going to be participating. We just saw the top 12 teams that are going to be there. Sadly, Mavitex, TRZ, they did not have a good time this time around. Because again, when you talk about TRZ, right, when the day started off, were looking very comfortable. But as we progressed on through, it got tougher and tougher, and of course, eventually with just a 1 point difference, sadly, we're not able to make it. Indeed, though, this is where the cookie has crumbled against them. At the same point of time, when it comes to the map of Vikendi, it is, well, what can I say? It's one of the biggest maps in the entire loop itself. So it is going to be an extended one. It is going to take some time for the teams to actually find each other as well, right? That's another thing that takes forever at times for the teams to be able to jump into the opportunity to take on their opponents. But one thing is certain, if at all anybody has learned anything, 4MV is one team that everybody should stay away from. 4MV is one team that will always, no matter what the situation is, they will find a way to get into the ranks and of course then completely annihilate you. That is what they did previously in the map of Vikendi as well, but we've only had one Vikendi thus far. Perhaps that Vikendi has already been seen from the other teams that have participated right now, and that would mean that now we can actually talk about maybe a comeback story from another team. We can talk about perhaps how another team can probably put a full stop to what momentous boost 4MVs playing along with that. Let's jump into, of course, the flight path and find out what this final game is going to be doing for us, as we are, of course, talking about Vikendi map with 12 teams. Well, that would mean 48 players in the lobby in total. Now, the Vikendi map, it is extensive. Are they going to be going for an extended rotation pushes, or are we looking at a straightforward jump and then all the teams just take on a TDM sort of a fight right there? But for now, again, decent start, a decent outing for the players of Stalwart Esports as they make themselves known towards the southeastern side of the zone altogether itself, and right close to their proximity is also going to be the players of NB Esports, as Leo, along with, of course, Yeta, Uta, and Raw officials basically along with I8. So we've got 3 teams actually that are making their way towards Vihar over there, towards the western side of the map, where we've got Leo Esports, we've got I8, and alongside that we'll have to see what exactly is going to turn this, what exactly is going to be the final result of that. Will that be the reason, or rather the position where we might end up looking at a first blood situation? For now, we've got NB Esports right here at Volpova. Right next to them is going to be the team of DRS Gaming. There we have it, right off the bat. 48 players, all looking good, all looking pristine. But now, where exactly are we looking at the first blood to be drawn from? Is it going to be NB Esports? Is it going to be SG? With that, the zone has also already been drawn. We're almost about 1,500 meters away for NB Esports as well as for SG. Skylights, they're both going to have to make it quick and make it count if they want to be part of this fight. If not, do not turn it into a stalemate situation and run away. But with that, first things first, DBS comes in the hand. No Fear has already taken quite a lot of damage right now coming in from NB Esports' side. As No Fear is all by his lonesome, it seems like Nima is going to be going to him. He might actually be approaching the position where No Fear is to give him that cover. So it's a 2-man split. Once again, the known strategy that we've seen coming in from the side of DRS Gaming is what we've got going on once again, a 2-man split. Whereas for NB Esports, the exact same approach has worked and not worked for them. But right now it seems like they found the compound, and now it's time for them to, of course, pounce upon the opportunity and get those points. Nail the opponent down. But will that be allowed? That is what the question is going to be. Of course, right now, we're joined in with Shadow once again, as we have SG against NB.
At the very start of the game, and DRS Gaming, in terms of the armor, they are not looking so very good, because few of the players, look at No Fear, he's just level 2 vest, but he has a DBS in his hands, and their DBS can be so very deadly, and Fist Boy has taken a healthy damage from the DBS, but this time he's going to switch his weapon and take down Fist Boy over there. And NB Esports are not looking good at all in terms of the numbers and the split they are having right now, but Akaze is going to try to retaliate. But look at Mafia Ninja, he's lobbing a grenade, and this could be deadly for Mondo, but Mondo repositioned himself, going up against the players of DRS Gaming, but from the backline, Akaze providing the necessary cover fire, and Nima takes hefty damage. This is looking so very interesting, and Mafia Ninja takes a jump and has an idea where exactly the players of NB Esports are, but still it's a stalemate situation. No one wants to push aggressively, just waiting for an opening, an angle on the other side. This is going to buy Nima some time, as he is going to patch himself up.
Indeed, but the fight continues on fourth, and Mafia Ninja had an opportunity right there with the DBS in his hand, goes in front, and of course with that, a trade is going to be placed right now, where Mafia Ninja does go down along with AJ at the same time. This is the G36 right now going in favor of Nima, but of course the health actually going in favor of G36 as well, where Nima might just be able to, of course, obliterate his opponent, but will he be the one jumping in, of course, to the opportunity of taking on the shots, or will it be the AKM on the other side that might be able to bring down Nima, because he, all by his lonesome, will have to dictate how this fight goes. For now, for Akaze, all he can do is just hold on steady, try and bring in some burst damage and some sprays, but it seems like it is highly unlikely, and hold on, there we go, it is going to be working out in his favor, because it is a 7.2 against 5.56. Bullet, never mind all that detail, because right now what matters is the skill, and in that skill, what has happened is NB Esports has come up on top and DRS Gaming have been pushed down below. But again, both these teams have taken equal amount of knocks. DRS Gaming He's pushing on by his lonesome. He's a final player, no fear. Without fear, he's just trying to, of course, take on that rivalry, and that in turn is going to be his DBS doing all the talk, and he will be able to annihilate the competition, but at what cost? Because he's lost out on his teammates. AJ is so far away. Will no fear be able to reach him in time? With a PP Bison and DBS in his hand, this is looking like a tough situation for him to crack.
Certainly, on the other side of the map, we have the players of Leo also going up against Raw, and looks like Raw officials are also not looking good as the numbers are dwindling down. One player already lost, the other one is still bleeding, as No Fear in the city of Volno is trying to make a quick escape from the situation, but I8 is also going up against the players of DEADEYES, and looks like on top Sar has been knocked down. In fact, the confirmation has already been made, so even DEADEYES have been reduced to 3-man squad. This is very contrasting to the previous Vikendi, because in the first week bonus match, teams were not looking to take fight against each other at all till the very final circles. But this time, there are so many initial fights happening. Maybe could be because of the flight path, but right now, like I said, Zodi is still bleeding. Mr. Smokey is bleeding from the side of your officials. Yes, the trades have been made, but look at the angle which Claw is having. Takes a jump from the building, takes on Liquid with a shotgun. And with that, the trade is also coming in, and Leo Esports still having the numbers advantage. Mr. Smokey will get an easy revival. On the other side, the players of Raw officials are looking for revival onto Yeta Uta, and Yeta Uta is again back in the game. But look at the HP of Zodi. He needs to heal himself as soon as possible. At the same time, we have the blue also coming in.
Absolutely, and as the fight continues on, we've got Leo Esports taking on shots against the players of Seal Esports as the row goes down. Sancher is going to be falling back right now, but for Leo Esports, trouble are just getting started. They have taken on shots. They have been able to, of course, obliterate their target. But at the same point of time, they're almost about 800 meters away from the zone. So they're going to have to be very, very swift about this conversion in terms of this fight and defeat point, so that they can start making that rotation into the zone. Because they're not the only ones, actually. If we look to the right-hand side, Seal Esports is another one that is outside the zone. We've got NB Esports, Raw officials, as well as DRS Gaming with the one-man army. But looking all the way in the center is going to be I8. Oh, I completely forgot to predict. I predict I8 for a chicken dinner this time around.
Oh, nice. And my prediction, can I cheat, is going to be I8 again. I'm going with your prediction.
It all boils down to now what the production decides and what the producer and director chooses to do with our prediction. But we're on time. We've got 12 teams remaining, so technically we're on time and we're correct.
Yep.
And so that way we might just be able to, get the prediction in the bag. But of course, with that, on our screen we've got Seal Esports making a late rotation. Hold on, I take that away. I think it's going to be Stalwart Esports for the chicken dinner, and for Shadow it's going to be I8.
Wow, of course. But for I8, this is the first Vikendi bonus match they are playing. Last week, they were not able to qualify, but this time with the dominating spree, this team has not only qualified, they qualified by a quite margin, but on the other side, DRS Gaming have been eliminated. At the same time, I8, well, you picked Stalwart Esports, and Caster Curse coming in. Nirzed has been picked off. Blotter,
ouch.
Very bad. Ouch.
Ouch. This is not what we anticipated right here from the side of STE, but at the same point of time, I8 have had an obliterating play in this week, of course, and that in turn provides them with the momentous boost of course, them being able to dominate. But hold on, the DPS in his hand could very well be a destructive one. This is going to be chaotic fight right now against Illuminate. Bufes and UMP against the DBS, but he is still going to be able to bring down one player not long before IC has something to say, and into the face as I8 bring themselves down to a one-man squad. Right now, of course, IC is going to have to try and get that revival on his teammate. They are a four-man army right now. Nerze is going to be given that revival. But for I8, that split that they had has gone against them, as it is Novax who's the only player surviving right now. But again, making all that commotion, Stalwart Esports are being very, very quiet. Well, not quiet, they're being careful as to how exactly should they get into the same compound, or are they maybe working towards a two-man split? No, they will be in the same compound right next to each other, which is a good decision coming in from them, because they are pretty much at the edge of the map itself, and so they've got a good position for now. But let's see how exactly the other teams are going to be able to approach this area.
For quite few teams, this is the first weekendy. Like I8, NB Esports, Raw officials, Deadeye guys. Also, they are playing their very first weekendy. But on the other side, Stalwart Esports, well, they were the first one to be taken out in the first weekendy of the previous week. But this time, they are looking so strong. Maybe they're trying to challenge the top spot in the overall ranking, because these bonus points are definitely going to help their case. But on the other side, we have the players of DRS Gaming, Delta taking the advantage of the foliage, hiding in the bushes, but at the same time, his teammates are trying to spot down few of the players. But for now, they're looking safe, cool as cucumber, trying to capitalize on the information. They lost rules at the very early stage of the game, but still, they have a good position in, towards the side of Zababa. But this airdrop in a no man's land in the water with an MK14, the deadly weapon, but I don't think anyone is going to go for it. But right now, NB Esports first bonus match, and they're at the mercy of the blue, 1,000 meters away in the map of Vikendi from the circle. It's not looking good at all for the players of NB Esports. They have to start making those crucial rotations, otherwise maybe the blue will take him. But right now, the player that has been taken out is Yeta Uta from the side of Raw officials, courtesy to the players of IHC. At the same time, Zodi also been spied by. Even the entire Raw officials have been eliminated at 11th spot.
Absolutely. With 10 teams remaining, 31 players in total, IHC jump into the possibility of course, getting a decent game outing for themselves. They've also working towards a very extended split coming in from their side. But right behind them, we've got Leo Esports, as we can see on the map, on the mini-map towards the top right-hand side of our screens. So IHC, if they're not careful, they could be pounced on upon as well from Leo Esports. But Leo Esports is actually holding back. They're still not approaching the edge of the zone just yet. If you look towards Gorka, that is exactly where we've got Leo Esports, and right above Gorka, the rotation being made from the side of IHC. But moving towards the center, we still have so many teams in close proximity, and not a lot of time before we are going to be done with this stage number 3 as well, as we saw IHC getting sprayed upon as well as they made that rotation. With that, the second airdrop, thankfully this time around, is not going to be in the no man's land, but still going to be a difficult one to grab onto, because we know when it comes to these airdrops, there's always going to be one team that is just going to be camping it and hoping that one player decides to stop and thus give them a point. Nevertheless, moving away from that airdrop conversation towards T2K against DRS, can we anticipate a fight between these two? They both need points. They both have 0 elimination points just yet. Playing it safe. And this is what I was talking about, the stalemate situation that Vikendi ends up providing for these 12 teams. Well, make it 10 actually, because SG and Raw have been eliminated.
Well, certainly 2 teams have been eliminated, and T2K trying to dominate from the northern eastern front, where they are on the periphery of the zone. Yes, the players of DRS are right in front of. They do have a good company, but the stuff coming from the side of T2K, they have to be a bit cautious. Yes, the backlines are clear, but if any case there is a knock that comes in, chances of revival are going to be very slim, and it's going to be so very risky. So T2K have to be very careful, but T2K always likes to roll from the northern front, so I think manage somehow. But the winners of the previous weekend, 4MB, they are still alive. They are still in a very good position. They are in the epicenter of the circle. So 4MB are also looking good in this particular one. On the other side, the players of Steel, if you can see, they are somewhere on the western front, where the players of Leo Esports also, and Leo Esports, they have the numbers of the players of so.
Absolutely. For now, of course, let's of course move on ahead with this game. Let's see how things are going to be played out. We're still waiting to see the opening between these 10 teams. It seems a little difficulty is being faced for quite a lot of them as they try and find those elimination points. I8 Novaks, we saw earlier, was the final player remaining from I8 crew, as he got the information against STE. Sadly, he's not going to be able to do much. I'm sure he's sitting in that compound, you know, biting teeth. He's going to be very, very angry that he lost out on his teammates, but hey, nothing that you can do anymore, mate. Apart from, of course, bringing in 1v4 situation against Stalwart Esports. Before now, Stalwart themselves have decided to make a rotation from the edge, from the northern edge of the zone that they were at. So safe play being showcased from STE. In fact, not only from STE, but from so many teams.
Agreed, but could be the reason because now teams do realize the importance of the bonus match. One extra match that you're playing, if you get a winner chicken dinner, you're getting 10 extra placement points and the elimination points on top of that. So the extra game is providing you the extra points. Yes, in the overall ranking, based on your position and placement over there, you're going to get the overall bonus points, but this very game points are also going to help you in the long run, especially like the teams 4MV who have managed to play both Vikendi games, and if they get a chicken dinner, so that means 20 extra just placement points to them. But talking about the placement points, well, Leo, they are not looking so good as they lost 2 of the players, and Seal Esports, like I was saying, the numbers advantage was even Steven, but now Seal Esports, they have nullified that for the players of Leo Esports, because Seal standing as 3-man army and Leo just as 2-man army out there, not having the safety of the circle. But here comes a third airdrop, and the big weapon MK14, one of the most deadly weapon in the close range or the long range. With the level 3 gear, let's see which team is brave enough to go for this airdrop out there in the open.
Well, once again, a stalemate situation is what Vikendi turns out to be by this moment, when you've only got 8 to 10 teams remaining and you're only in stage number 3. Though for now, as the stages move on ahead, the zone mushes away, and as it pushes away, it is going to be STE that are going to be making a rotation from the north, as the zone has left them. But in the center is going to be the players of 4MV, and it seems like 4MV till now, they were very, very quiet. But now that the zone has moved on towards them, they can probably start pouncing upon the opportunity of getting the points for themselves. And of course, with that, you know that this is the bonus game. That also implies the fact that the position that you're in, well, those points are going to be added on to your total tally of the league play days and the league overall standings itself. For now, it's going to be IHC on our screens. With the G36C in his hand, it seems like he wants to be able to take on shots against the players of NV Esports, as Mondo along with the Kaze. Smoke has been deployed from them. But what exactly is the play right there? Are they wanting to move away from that compound, perhaps? As IHC take on shots, they themselves are getting sprayed upon from the looks of it. And that's going to be Seal Esports. Yeah, Sanchir. It seemed like it was Seal Esports. Not entirely sure if it was or not, but they definitely had a few shots taken on against their compound as well. But right now, Seal Esports seem to be making a rotation as well. They seem to be wanting to understand where is the best spot to be in this zone. And that's what all the other teams are doing as well. So, very difficult position. Oh, whoa, no! The timing over there went so very bad as Leo Esports jump into the opportunity. Well, they take on the shots and bring down the players. As we have Slipknot and, of course, Mr. Smokey getting and making an entry right here. As they do, IHC have been brought down to a 2-man squad. Alex, the moment he jumped and the way Mr. Smokey just bulged in, the timing, it was so very immaculate right there. You could not plan this. It just was unscripted and took place, and that's what bad luck is called. So IHC down to a 2-man squad. 2-man split was working for them, but not for long. And now look at this. Godless in the back lines. Demo out in the open up front. What exactly is going on in IHC's mind, I wonder. But being out in the open, now they've drawn attention from Leo, from Slipknot, as well as Mr. Smokey. And now we need to see if at all Leo are going to be able to do much with that information, because Demo along with Godless are pushing on to get that revenge from Leo Esports as they took down 2 of their players.
Well, certainly IHC Esports, they are looking for revenge. The numbers are even Steven, but look at the circle. They are also in the periphery of the circle. So that means they can afford to take this fight. They are not in no hurry to be inside the circle or to move inside the circle. But Leo Esports, they do have a good compound to their name. And Demo with the grenade is looking for some opening. But can he bring it? That's the main question. And looks like no is the answer. But somewhere else, Seal Soulless is going to bring down Gyante from the side of DRS. And DRS not looking so very good. They are on the periphery of the blue circle, and sooner or later the blue will start dishing out damage. But IHC are fighting relentlessly as Demo with a perfect grenade takes down Slipknot over there, but Mr. Smokey also brings down Demo to 10 HP over there. So this is moving so very close. On the other side, DRS Gaming, they have been eliminated, but IHC and Leo, they are utilizing so many throwables and resources, but Mr. Smokey from the cheeky angle takes down one player from the side of IHC, gets an instant confirmation as well. Now IHC is only surviving as a one solo player, that is going to be Demo, who is down to 30 HP. He needs to patch himself up as soon as possible. But can he take down both the plus of Leo Esports? He'll get the confirmation onto one. That means it's a 1v1 situation now.
Absolutely, and that 1v1 also going to be going in one direction as Leo Esports, Mr. Smokey, going to be able to annihilate IHC. IHC get eliminated on that 9th position with 3 defeat points in their name. But Leo Esports themselves had a tough luck in terms of the conversion over there. And look at that, 4MV, T2K tried to make a push over there. So Yog getting eliminated on the backlines. It was T2K, Jane up top on that mountain. But sadly not going to be able to provide that cover because the push was just so unnecessary. As that takes place, Seal Esports also get eliminated with 4 eliminations of their own. Leo have had a really good game thus far with 7 eliminations going in their favor. For STE, a 2-man squad. Down to a 2-man squad, they have 6 eliminations of their own, but 4MV, the only team in the lobby with all 4 players surviving. I'm loving the positioning and the placement as well as the way 4MV have dictated their fights. In first week, it was all about annihilation, it was all about domination. In week 2, they strategized and actually changed the pace of the game, alternating it from one aggressive game to one passive game. And now as week 2 comes to an end, 4MV have gone to a passive front altogether itself. But now in the moments where it matters the most, they jump on ahead. But right now it's going to be NB Esports against the players of Leo, as Leo's final player is left. But Mr. Smokey won't be able to do much on the other side of the game altogether itself. We've got Stalwart Esports getting eliminated thanks to 4MV. So now, of course, the entire game goes in favor of 4MV because of the fact that they are the ones who will be able to perhaps get a good game for themselves based on the numbers that are advantageous in their position. The zone is advantageous in their position. Let's find out though, can it be the case or can there be another team that can stop them? But right now it's going to be DEADEYES, Precious Sir, bringing in quite a lot of damage right there to T2K Rig. And that vehicle is going to get blown as T2K Rig will probably bid adieu to this lobby. Oh well, that's stolen. The kill got stolen from Doc right there from 4MV. 4MV, they do not shy away from chiming in as soon as they've got the information.
Well, certainly for MV, they are also looking so very strong. They have the numbers advantage, like you pointed out, but at the same time, DE, the circle has moved away from the plus of 4MV and now favoring the plus of DE right now. T2K, yes, they can engage in a fight with the plus of 4MV. That is going to be a blessing in disguise for the plus of DEADEYES as they're trying their level best to move inside the circle. In the circle, we have the plus of I8, we have the plus of NB Esports, but they don't have the number. This is the moment when the circle rotations should start in, but Precious perfect grenade comes in, takes down Jane over there, leaving Sandesh all by himself. What can Sandesh do in the situation? Nothing. Pretty much nothing he can do, because at one side it is 4MV, other side it is DE, DEADEYES, and Sandesh is stuck in between. Oh my god, he's holding on to his dear life. For how long can he hold on to? That's the main question, because now is the moment. 3 seconds on the clock. DE and 4MV, they ought to start their rotation inside the circle, and this is the moment Sandesh was waiting for. Slayers are out in the open, but smoke, little bit of a smoke curve is going to save his life as he was brought down to 20 HP by Sandesh, but Sandesh running for his dear life. Can he move inside the circle? At the same time, DEADEYES guys, they have the vehicle. That means they are not going to have any problem in transitioning themselves inside the circle. On the other side, Sandesh will still at the mercy of the blue.
Absolutely, still at the mercy of the blue indeed. With that, 4 teams remaining. We've got 4MV looking pretty good with 3 players surviving. NB Esports with the momentum going in their favor, trying to dominate against the players of 4MV who are trying to make a rotation to get into the zone. Doc has been spotted out and he probably might just be lost down to the cause as well, but a sliver of HP and he will stand true and tall right now. Of course, He needs to get that first aid popped at the same point of time. Refuse has been spotted and will be blown to smithereens thanks to, of course, Mondo and his approach right here. And it seems like NB Esports, even though the numbers were not favoring them, the zone pushed on towards them and against the players of 4MV has resulted in NB Esports capitalizing on the momentous boost that they had. With 8 defeat points confirmed, they are still not stopping, with an 8-8 being dropped on against the players of 4MV. They are dropped down to just a one-man army, and that's going to be East. Doc is down, Doc gets eliminated, make that 10 or maybe 9, I'm not sure, but nevertheless, NB Esports, they've got a high fragging game in their hands right now. And the only team that can stop them in their tracks is now going to be DEADEYES guys. DEADEYES guys, they still need to get revival on that third man, my apologies. And as they do, the 3-man army from DEADEYES guys could very well be the team that can stop NB Esports in their tracks, because 4MV, all the momentum that they had has now gone away from them.
Certainly, the momentum has been gone away. DEADEYES, well, if at this moment they engage in a fight with the plus of NB Esports, the last man from the side of 4MV can do a third party and maybe can turn the tables around and get this game in his pocket. But the chances are very slim. Yes, DEADEYES guys, they have the numbers, they have the circle, they have the height advantage as well onto the plus of NB Esports. But look at the position of East Blotter. He has crawled his way towards the side of NB Esports and it's so close, but unfortunately he's having just a single smoke, no grenade, no Molotov. Had he had some grenades in his hand, maybe he could have eliminated the entirety of NB Esports.
There could have been a possibility, but right now this is looking very, very tricky. For now, for DEADEYES guys, they've got a perfect control of that zone. Alongside that, it seems like NB Esports, Mondo, he is in a tricky position, as from one side it's going to be 4MV. Well, never mind 4MV's player as he gets eliminated. Now it's down to these two teams and these two players. DEADEYES guys know exactly where NB Esports are at, and same is the case vice versa as well. But the best part about DEADEYES guys is the fact that they've got the control of this high ground, and of course through the smoke they're going to be bringing in a lot of lead to the players of NB Esports. Akaze trying to run across, trying to spray across, but not going to be able to do much because he does not have a lot of information as to the two players. It's a 2v1 situation. Precious has been spotted, but that's not going to be able to determine the chicken dinner, because the flank is going to be covered, and that in turn is going to be providing a perfect chicken dinner to the players of DEADEYES guys. Incredible turn of events where DEADEYES guys, they held on to that angle for a long time. They did not chime in till the moment was right, and once they did, they definitely pushed on to find themselves in the overall ranking at 12th position with 1286 damage. This is a perfect game for DEADEYES guys, and do not forget, this is a bonus game. That means more points to be awarded to them.
Well, Deadeye is the first weekend match they play in the week number 2. They get a beautiful winner chicken dinner for themselves dotted. And not just Deadeye, NB Esports. They were also playing Vikendi for the first time and they showcased a very good performance. So Vikendi was all chaotic, contrary to the previous one in the previous week.
Absolutely, and that was needed as well. We needed to see a different team, take on that chance and bring in the points for themselves, and that is what the team of Deadeyes have done today. And of course, along with that, huge props need to be awarded to NB Esports, right? The way that they were able to dominate against the rotating team of 4MV, NB Esports were just a two-man strong army. But the army is the critical word right here because of the way they were able to understand where 4MV were, the smokes that 4MV had deployed to get into the zone or closer to the zone. NB Esports were already ready. Mondo along with his teammate, I mean, the precise controlled spray coming in from them was the reason why, of course, the team of 4MV got obliterated right there. And along with that, we've got, of course, Mondo's teammate, A+B comes in right here, and that's going to be NB Esports' A+B, who's got the MVP with 5 eliminations, 1,045 damage done, along with 599 healing as well. So a chaotic Vikendi for A+B.
Well, definitely it was chaotic. Even in the end, few moments, NB Esports, they had their patience, and it was A+B that the initial fight NB Esports were engaged in. A+B was the guy who was bringing the initial openings. 5 elimination, 1,045 damage done, 599 healings done. NB Esports, they played the game perfectly. In the start of the game, they went for the aggressive side. And when the circle was in their favor, they just waited patiently inside the circle. And when last 3 teams were remaining, they started picking up the fight and eliminated remaining teams, especially the plus of Deadeye guys.
Indeed, as we move ahead, we've got the top players on our screens right now. Where, of course, we've got Mr. Smokey from Leo Esports, another incredible player with 6 elimination points, 886 damage dished out. Incredible controlled play from Leo Esports from this game as well. But moving ahead, of course, is going to be Mondo from NB Esports, as A+B and Mondo were the 2 players who were left.
Certainly, in the match summary, then we have Mr. Smokey with the highest elimination, A+B with the highest damage, Precious Sir from Deadeyes with highest assist, and A+B again with the highest healings done. Overall, in the match summary, also we can see the plus of NB Esports leading the chart. Yes, Mr. Smokey delivered a very good performance from the side of Leo Esports, but that was not enough because the circle was not in their favor. On the other side, Deadeye guys were also a fantastic performance from their side as well. But in the match ranking, we have Deadeyes on the top with 16 points and NB Esports sitting on the second with 15 points.
Indeed, as we move down south from that position, we've got Leo Esports on the third with 9 points to their name. Then comes in 4MV on the fourth with 8 points and only 3 eliminations. An interesting stats being created right here against the players of 4 Miracle Vibes and the kind of play style that they have right now on the map of Vikendi. But moving down south from there, we've got Stalwart Esports with 6 eliminations of their own, so decent outing for STE. And then comes in T2K as well with 7 of their own in total. Boiling it down to the final 4, we've got A+C Esports, DRS Gaming, Raw Officials, and DRS Gaming. DRS Gaming, sadly though, not even getting a single point for themselves. Tough luck right here on Vikendi. But at the same time, they are going to be awarded some points because they at least were able to participate on the Vikendi map.
Well, certainly they are going to get bonus points. On the other side, any point that you get, Raw Officials having a single point, Stalwart Gaming having 2 points, these points are an upper advantage to you guys who are as compared to the teams who are not playing this particular weekend. In the overall ranking, we have 4MV on the top with 202 points, Stalwart Esports sitting on the second with 191 points. T2K this week, they were fantastic. The consistency was missing on the last day, but still T2K remaining 4 days, entirely their day. 165 points to their name. IH Crew hat-trick in this particular week, sitting on the 4th spot with 160 points. IHC on the 5th with 155 points.
Absolutely. As you move on to the second page, we've got Seal Esports right here with 1 chicken dinner, 108 points in total, sitting on the 11th position. But moving away from there, look at the Raw Officials team on the 12th position. What a wonderful day for them right here as they find themselves on the 12th. And I just hope that this is the kind of journey that they're able to have in week 3 as well and find themselves in the top 16, because after all, that is what week 3 is going to be focused on towards. But all of that will be brought on down once we start week 3. But right now, ASL week 2 not having a good one, with only 62 points in total, sitting on the 19th position. System Esports on the 17th position with 79 points as well. High Voltage with 16th position and 86 points. Yeah, these are teams and names that we did not anticipate to be so far low below on this second page of the leaderboard. But that's what week 2 had in store for PMPL South Asia right here in the spring season of 2023. We still have one more week remaining of the league play, which implies that league week, which is going to be starting day after tomorrow, there is going to be a huge chance that, those third parties are going to probably convert into drop contestations, which are also going to convert into probably stalemate situations. Eventually, what I'm talking about is exciting, energetic fights from one map to the other.
That is certainly going to be there, because that is the last week and the last chance for the teams who are sitting at the bottom of the overall ranking to qualify for the grand finals. But looking at the bonus ranking for MV, they have got 20 points in week number 1 and week number 2. Consistency coming in. And if you guys are wondering why 4MV are getting 20 points in week number 2, they didn't get the chicken dinner in the map of Vikendi. Well, the bonus points are awarded based on the overall ranking of week number 2, where 4MV are on top. Stalwart Esports, again, 19 points both weeks. IHC also 16 points both weeks. Consistency coming in from their side. DRS Gaming in week number 2, they're getting 13 points, sitting on the 4th with total of 31 points.
Absolutely, and that is what we've got for these teams. Leo Esports, T2K, Scarlets Gaming, High Voltage, as we push on to second page. Now, this is where, of course, Bad Intentions end up getting another point for themselves. Bonus point definitely helps them out, but the difference is so stark that these 2 points also don't really help them to the cause. But it's free points, so why not? Why not, of course, take them? But at the same time, when it comes to Seal Sports and the play that they've had, it's been ups and downs for them. But overall, again, finding themselves on the 12th position is going to be a-okay. But with that, bonus points done. Let's find out what big change are we looking at in the league standings and the league storyboard, where we've got 9 chicken dinners in favor of 4MV, 5 in favor of IHC, but they find themselves on the 4th. But look at that. I mean, this is 59-point difference coming in between 4MV against Stalwart Esports. Yeesh, okay. This is just brutal play. And then from Stalwart to DRS, unbelievable. 100-point difference, almost 100-point difference. 9-9 to be precise over there as well.
Certainly, that is a quiet lead which 4MV is having in the overall ranking. They're already making a statement for the grand finals. Definitely these teams are going to go up against each other in the grand finals. No one is stopping them, but only top 16 teams are moving. And Raw Officials, System Esports, Elementrix, Bad Intention, they're still in the danger zone. Yes, Raw Officials have started climbing the ladder, but that is not enough. They need more points in week number 3. But in the elimination leaders, East is still leading the chart with 91 points, 91 elimination. I'm sorry, Doc at the second with 79 elimination. East is having his own run for the MVP. I'm telling you, Blotter.
Exactly.
Then we have Tops with 77 elimination. Is there any competition? You think in just 1 week, can anyone cross over 91 points and beat East in the race of MVP?
Well, this is looking highly unlikely, actually. If at all anything, he's just going to be able to, if at all a team gets closer closer to that 91 elimination marker, he's just going to be able to rack up those numbers to 150 for all you know, because he's got 5 days of PMPL South Asia still remaining in his hand. And of course, every single day the team is going to be playing 4 games. So yeah, huge amount of opportunity to East, and it seems like he's definitely getting the MVP. But hey, I do not want to say anything. I'm not jinxing anything. I just am predicting and seeing what I'm looking at as far as the stats are concerned. But that is what the day was like and what it had in store for us. At the same point of time, of course, when it comes to week number 2, we reach the end of week number 2 right now. That implies that right now it is time for us to, of course, talk about what to anticipate from week number 3. Do you think that 4MV will still continue with this sort of a momentous boost? Or perhaps there is still a little bit of a chance, an iffy-bitty chance, for any other team to be able to move on against them?
In the overall ranking, 4MV, they are still going to be on the top. No second thought. But in week 3 ranking, maybe some other team can try and dominate and top lower 4 MV, but maximum 4 MV can come down to second position. Nothing below that, because I expect 4 MV they are again going to have a very consistent run. At the same time, Stalwart Esports, but I'm having very high hope from the side of T2K in the coming week.
Indeed, same here for all the teams. I mean, DEADEYES guys and so many other teams that, of course, in week 2 were able to bring up their performance. Raw Officials being one of them.
Yeah.
ASL went down. I mean, you talk about ASL on their overall storyboard. We saw them sitting at 3 chicken dinners, but on the second page, and that too at the latter half of the leaderboard, not looking too good. But hey, hopefully all of that will change as we move into week number 3. But right now, our day comes to an end. Our week, rather, PMPL South Asia right here does come to an end. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. Of course, I've been Blotter, your caster, along with Shadow, as we went through this entire saga. We will continue on Tuesday onwards once again before we jump into the grand finals. But until then, take care, stay awesome, bye bye.